Hello, I want to welcome you to the Manic Pixie Dream Vlog. Today I wanted to talk about daring and bravery. Let me tell you about my friend Jessica. Jessica was a very lost girl. She was very sweet and she was very kind. And she rarely fought with her friends. She always tried to do the right thing. She often felt misunderstood. But anyway, one day she really needed money. She really needed money. And so sometimes when she really needed money, this is what she would do. She would go on a sugar daddy website and she would meet guys for dinner. And she would get them to agree to give her $200, $300, $400 just to have dinner with them. Just to have dinner. They had to pay her that much money. And most of the time they would only agree to $200. Sometimes they would back you down to $100 or even $50. But it was just like, shit, it's free dinner. You know what I mean? That was the way she thought about it. It's a free dinner and it's a little bit of cash. Why not? You're leaving money on the table, so to speak. So one day she was out to dinner with this guy and he offered her a lot of money, a couple $1,000 to sleep with him. And she was just so broke at the moment, and that money would have saved her life and would have been able to change her life. She would have had everything she needed to move forward and to rise up in society a little bit. With that amount of money, it would have been able to do that for her at that time. So she agreed. She met him at a hotel that he was staying at, so he already had a room. He was there on business. He was leaving the next morning. He was never coming back to LA, not for months. So he gave her a couple $1,000s in cash and and then he Venmo'd her a tip, which was another $1,000. And now Jessica had a choice. So Jessica spun on her heels and there was a waft of smoke left behind her ass and she was gone. And she was wearing heels. She made it to the elevator. The elevator, thank God, closed in time for him to not be able to get there in time. And Jessica, I think, has a lot of bravery in her, and she has a will to survive. So you all come the fuck at me. You know what I mean? If Jessica could do it, if Jessica could be that brave, if Jessica could be that fearless, if Jessica could be that bold, to do something, yes, that was wrong, but still, fucking shit. Ugh. And I am talking about Jessica. I'm talking about my friend Jessica at work. Yeah. I can do this. I can fucking do this. And you know, in the movie Hustlers, and I was rewatching my vlog and I misspoke a few times, and I said something in a way, I forgot to say things and stuff. I left shit out. I put stuff in. I went off topic and I forgot to mention something, that kind of thing. So my last vlog, I really liked it, but just there was something that I said that was wrong. In the movie Hustlers, the most powerful moment is when the main character, played by Constance Wu, looks at the journalist and just looks at her and says, "What have you ever had to do for $1,000? What have you had to do for $1,000?" And she confronts her and says, "You grew up wealthy. You don't know what it takes. You don't know. You don't know what it's like to need $1,000 that bad. You don't know that." I hope feminists will think about that when they talk about sex workers. I hope that feminists start to think about that when they talk about poor women, or when they're talking about women in general. I hope that they keep that in mind. What would you have to do for $1,000? Now, you know, I'm kind of getting into the mythology of comedy. You know what I mean? Because there are unwritten rules. They're the unwritten rules of comedy that everyone sort of understands and grasps and learns over time, you know? And I'm starting to hear those unwritten rules. You know what I mean? I'm starting to be taught those unwritten rules. And one of those unwritten rules is that you never criticize another comedian's jokes. Like, you never, I don't know, like, nobody's not offended by things, but you can't take it personally. If it's a joke, it's a joke, it's a joke. You know? It's a joke. Let it go. It's a joke. It's a fucking joke. You know? Don't criticize another comedian's comedy just because you don't understand it, and just because, yes, there are parts of you that it touches, that hurts, you know? That's fair, but you don't criticize another comedian's comedy. You know, and I remember when Nanette came out, and I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited to hear what Joe Rogan is going to have to say about this. And you know what was weird? It wasn't what I expected at all. He was pretty okay with it. He was just like, hey, she has the right to say whatever she wants. And if people want to go and see her and listen and call it comedy, then that's fine. And that was a really, I didn't expect that. I really didn't expect that. I was kind of thinking he would have hated it, and he would have thought that he would have said that she wasn't a comedian. Or she was, I don't know, sometimes. A friend of mine was criticizing a lot of Netflix specials, and she says a lot of Netflix specials are like TED Talks. They're like kind of funny TED Talks. And is that a bad thing? You know, is that a bad thing? I mean, it doesn't have to be a TED Talk, but I mean, if a comedian can be, you know, pick a theme and a subject that they're interested in, maybe like Whitney Cummings' special. I finally watched that. She makes people think in it. She makes people, she kind of muses over a big new idea, you know, of sex dolls. That's a big deal. And she acknowledges it, you know. It is a big deal. It's going to change everything. I mean, there's going to be sex doll brothels. Fuck. You know what I mean? Think about it. Women can do that for a living and rise up in society by doing that. It's very common, and it's been around forever. Mistresses, courtesans, what the fuck ever, consorts, what the fuck ever. It's been around since the beginning. But people just call them whores. You know, and whore is such a horrible word. Whore puts the whore in horrible. It's horrible. It's a horrible word. Whore. Ugh. They call women the worst sound in the world who do that. You know, and it's like, it's weird to me when women act like, I'm sorry, but when women act like fucking sluts, they're going around fucking guys and shit every night. You know, it's like acting like Samantha times 10. You know what I mean? Just fucking any stranger at a bar. You know what I mean? And acting like some liberated lifestyle. You know, you're not getting fucking paid. You're not making money. So why? You're definitely not orgasming every time, so why do it? If he can't make you come, then why are you fucking him? And if you fuck a stranger, what are the chances he's going to make you come? I don't know. I have a lot of questions. That's just how I feel. So it's like, if women act like sluts and we don't get paid, then what's wrong with women that act like sluts and do? What's so different about them? What is so different about them? Why should our bodies be free? Why should our bodies be for free? Why is that so important? Why is it illegal? Why is it illegal to sell your body? That's so crazy to me. That is so fucking crazy to me. It's so unfair how women are treated in this world. It really is. And you know, and I complain a lot, you know, but y'all, I have 3 big secrets. And one of them is really hurting me right now. One of them really is really hurting me right now. And there's always going to be a little pain in my heart for one of the other ones. The third one, I completely accept. It's just, it is what it is. Mouth shut. Don't say anything. I'm going to tell my husband in 5 years. After I'm married to someone for 5 years, I'll tell him. That's who I'm going to tell my secret to. That one's secret. If I get married, if I find a nice man and I get married, that after 5 years of marriage, I will tell him that one secret. But one secret is especially really hurting me right now. It's really hard to keep a secret of this magnitude, especially with how I cannot speak about it. I cannot talk about it. I can't. It's just, it is what it is. It is a secret, and I can't say what it is. But it's really affecting me right now. It's really hurting me right now. And do you just have to live with it and accept it and move on? I can't live like this. I can't fucking live like this. It's so hard to keep things to yourself when you need to talk about them. You need to talk about them so badly that you inflict pain on other people. But I don't know, maybe I just have to relax and just accept, you know, God is going to find a way. God is going to find a way. I really believe that. I really believe that. Through all of this, God is going to find a way. If Jessica can do it, then I can do it. I'm going to do everything that I can, and I'm going to sacrifice everything to do comedy. I'm going to make every sacrifice I have to make right now to do comedy. I have to work really, really, really hard. I have to be mentally very, very, very well. I'm going to have to eat healthy. I'm going to have to drink lots of water. I'm going to have to stop smoking cigarettes. I am going to have to go to AA. I am going to have to go to therapy. I'm going to have to take my medication. I'm going to have to be fucking perfect to withstand what I'm going to have to go through. Working as much as I have been with Uber and going to comedy, going to open mics, you know, at least 3-4 times a night. 3 to 4 times a day. I've seen people do it that way. They just go to mic after mic after mic after mic every day, and they get good. They get really good really fast. And so I have to go a minimum 3 or 4 times a day, and I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that that happens. Anywho, that is my vlog for today. Like and subscribe and share. I am also on Instagram, Caroline_Lydia_Rose. Some people have found me on there, and it's been really nice to connect with people on Instagram. So just follow me on Instagram and send me a message, and I'll follow you back and stuff. And anyways, have a lovely day. Bye.